The world will test you. People will provoke you. Life will throw chaos in your path. But your job is not to react like everyone else. Your job is to stand firm, act calm, and keep walking forward. The moment you let something shake your peace, you give away your power. And once power is lost, control follows. The weak shout, panic, and complain. The strong, they remain silent, calculated, unbothered. Strength is not in showing force, it's in not needing to. Every challenge that comes to distract you is a test. A test of whether you can ignore the noise and stay focused on the mission. If you give your attention to every fool with an opinion, you rob your destiny. If someone can push your buttons, they control your machine. You must learn to disconnect your emotional wires. When something doesn't serve your higher vision, it's not your problem. Walk past it, leave it behind. People want a reaction. They want to feel important. Don't give them that satisfaction. Give them silence. A man or woman who moves like they're unbothered is a dangerous individual. They can't be manipulated. They can't be predicted. They can't be controlled. That kind of person shakes the world without raising their voice. That kind of person leads without asking for permission. And the world follows them because they know something most don't. Power belongs to the one who holds the reins of emotion. Never forget, your emotions are your army. When you lose command of them, you go to war with yourself. Learn to sit still when everything around you screams for a reaction. Learn to smile when they expect rage. Learn to keep moving when they want you to stop. This is mastery. This is control. And this is where real confidence is born. The one who seems like nothing bothers them is not emotionless. They're disciplined. They feel it, but they don't feed it. People think success comes from talent or luck. It doesn't. It comes from the relentless focus of someone who doesn't flinch. Someone who keeps showing up when others quit. Someone who sees obstacles and walks through them like a ghost through smoke. You must become emotionally bulletproof. Not because the world is fair, but because your mission is too important to be shaken by petty things. When you choose to act like nothing bothers you, what you're really saying is, I'm already ahead. You rise above by letting go. Let go of the need to be understood. Let go of needing to respond. Let go of needing to win every argument. That's not strength, that's ego. And ego is the enemy of progress. The calm mind will always build more than the chaotic one, so don't get dragged into storms that aren't yours. Learn to observe without absorbing. Learn to watch without getting pulled in. The only battle worth fighting is the one inside you, and when you win that one, the rest of the world doesn't stand a chance. Or they'll try to throw dirt on your name, let them. They'll try to block your path, walk around them. They'll try to question your value, ignore them. Why? Because you know where you're going. You're not in this to prove anything. You're in this to build something. And people who build don't argue with people who destroy. They don't scream for attention. They earn it through action. They don't chase validation. They chase victory. So from this day forward, move like you're unshakable. Don't react. Respond with discipline. Don't speak on everything. Let your results do the talking. Let the fire burn inside you, not around you. The one who moves in silence is the one who arrives first. And the one who acts as if nothing bothers them, they already won. Emotional control is power. It is the invisible armor that separates leaders from the average, builders from destroyers, winners from whiners. When you can look chaos in the eye and not blink, you win. When you can stand in a room full of noise, pressure, insults, and still move with clarity and calm, you dominate. The world is full of loud people who can't handle pressure. Their emotions leak out in complaints, anger, insecurity, and desperation. But the one who has trained their emotions doesn't flinch. They don't need to scream. They don't need to defend. They don't need to explain. Their presence says all emotional control is not about being cold. It's about being calculated. It's about moving with intention, not reaction. People who can't control their emotions will always be slaves to someone who can. If anyone can throw you off your path by pushing the right button, you don't own your mind. And if you don't own your mind, you don't own your future. You can't build something great if every piece of negativity knocks you off balance. You must train yourself to act as if nothing bothers you, not because you don't feel, but because you've mastered what matters. Let others drown in drama. You stay above it. Let others waste time on arguments and distractions. You focus forward. Every time you choose silence over reaction, you level up. Every time you move with peace while others panic, you gain ground. The strongest person in any room is the one who refuses to be emotionally moved by nonsense. They don't need validation. They don't need applause. Their vision is louder than opinions. They know that the greatest battles are won in the mind before they are ever fought in the world. Weakness is loud. Insecurity is loud. Anger is loud. But true power walks in with silence, handles business, and leaves with results. You don't have time to respond to everything that tries to provoke you. You're not here to prove your worth to small minds. You're not here to explain your mission to people who never had one. You're here to build, to grow, to rise. And that can only happen when your emotions follow your purpose, not your pain. You become powerful the moment you realize that not everything deserves your energy. Not every insult needs a comeback. Not every challenge needs a response. Some things are beneath you. Some situations are just noise. Some people are just tests. Pass the test by not engaging. Pass the test by walking away with your focus intact. Because the goal is never to react. The goal is to move with so much purpose that nonsense fades into the background. The real winners in life are not those who always feel good. They're the ones who keep going when they don't. They're the ones who show up when they're tired, calm when they're provoked, focused when they're surrounded by chaos. They've trained themselves to feel everything but act on discipline. When life hits, they don't whine, they work. When things go wrong, they don't explode, they adapt. When people try to shake them, they smile and keep building. Let them wonder why you're so calm. Let them question how you're so composed. Let them get confused by your lack of reaction. That's how you win. You win by becoming untouchable. You win by moving like you've already arrived. You win by mastering the only battlefield that matters, your mind. Stop trying to fix every opinion, answer every critic, or convince every doubter. That's not your mission. Your mission is to build a life so strong, no negativity can pull it down. Your mission is to become so focused that even your distractions get ignored. There will be moments when pressure rises, when insults come, when things break, and in those moments the average react, but the exceptional breathe, adjust, and keep going. They carry themselves like nothing touches them. Not because they're numb, but because they've learned that emotions are tools, not tyrants. You feel it, but you don't fold. You recognize it, but you don't respond. You keep your eyes on the finish line and not on the people trying to stop you. Learn to act as if nothing bothers you, and you will become unshakable. Learn to keep your mouth closed when your ego wants to scream. Learn to smile when your pride wants to fight. Learn to build in silence, because the loudest thing you can do is succeed. When you move with emotional control, you become the one thing the world can't predict. You become the one person they can't figure out. You become the one force they can't stop. Most people never reach their full potential because they get distracted by things that don't matter. They get pulled into fights that steal their time and drain their energy. They give emotional reactions to people who don't deserve a second of their focus. Don't be one of them. Be the one who sees it all but stays above it. Be the one who hears it all but never lowers yourself to respond. Be the one who is so locked in on the vision that nothing has the power to break your stride. Your success will come when you realize that your peace is more valuable than your pride, that your discipline is more valuable than your ego, that your reaction is your responsibility no matter what's thrown at you. Anyone can get emotional, anyone can blow up, anyone can lose control. But the one who stays calm, stays focused, and stays disciplined, that's the one who becomes unstoppable. That's the one who wins in the end. That's the one who sets the standard that others try to follow, but never match. Your reaction reveals your strength. Not your words, not your image, not what you post or how loud you shout. When pressure hits, when adversity strikes, when someone tests your patience or attacks your character, how you respond in that moment tells the world exactly who you are. Anyone can pretend to be composed when things are easy. Anyone can speak about discipline when there's nothing to endure. But the real proof comes when chaos steps into your space and you still hold your ground without letting it pull you into weakness. The strongest people are not the ones who hit back. They're the ones who don't need to. Strength is not in the punch. It's in the pause. It's in the ability to stay silent when everything in you wants to scream. It's in the control to keep walking when everything around you tries to pull you into a war that isn't worth fighting. Most people lose their power because they think reacting is winning, but reaction is often surrender. When you react without discipline, you hand the other side your energy, your focus, your control. It's easy to be triggered. It's easy to be offended. The world is full of people looking for reasons to feel something, anything, that justifies their weakness. But you're not here to be like them. You're not here to be emotional on command. You're here to build something that lasts. And that means you need to protect your strength like a treasure. Your strength is not shown by how you handle success, but by how you carry yourself through resistance. When things don't go your way, do you crumble or do you recalibrate? When someone tries to tear you down, do you react or do you rise? Every situation that tries to provoke you is not worth your time. Every critic is not worth your voice. Every slight, every jab, every insult thrown your way is a test. They want to see if you can be rattled. They want to see if you're just pretending to be focused. But when you don't react, when you don't even flinch, you reveal the depth of your power. You send a message without saying a word. You move like a force that can't be disturbed, and people start to notice. They start to back off, not because you fought them, but because they realize you're built different. The world respects restraint more than rage. It respects the one who can take a hit and still keep moving. When you walk away from petty conflict, you don't look weak. You look wise. When you keep your mouth shut and stay focused, you don't look passive. You look powerful. Anyone can shout back, but not everyone can stay focused while the world throws distractions in their face. The strongest are the most disciplined, and discipline is revealed through reaction. You need to train yourself to stop giving automatic responses to low-level attacks. You need to stop allowing yourself to be pulled into emotional traps. Just because someone is loud doesn't mean they're right. Just because someone throws fire doesn't mean you need to burn with them. Keep your fire for your goals. Save your fuel for what moves you forward. Don't spend it putting out fires that don't belong to you. When you rise above the noise, you reveal your vision. And vision always beats volume. Your legacy won't be built by how many times you reacted. It will be built by how many times you stayed steady when others fell apart. It will be built by how many times you kept working while others were arguing. It will be built by how many storms you walked through without losing your step. Most people want strength, but they don't want the training it requires. They want to be powerful, but they can't even manage their own reactions. They collapse under pressure because they never built their discipline. But the one who does, the one who trains in silence, the one who learns to breathe before they break, that's the one who gains the kind of strength that outlasts everything. Don't waste your reaction on people who aren't building anything. Don't argue with people who aren't going anywhere. Don't defend your name to people who never mattered. Let your progress speak. Let your silence speak. Let your discipline speak. That's how real strength works. It doesn't need to be proven. It doesn't need to be explained. It just is. And when people see it, they recognize it without a word. It's not about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally trained. You're not here to be numb. You're here to be wise. You're here to master yourself so thoroughly that nothing external can throw off your internal compass. You've got too much to accomplish to be stopped by small minds. You've got too much to build to be shaken by small moments. So guard your reaction. Guard it like it's the gate to your future. Because it is. One wrong reaction can cost you momentum. One wrong outburst can cost you trust. One slip in control can cost you months of progress. Stay level-headed when others lose themselves. Stay grounded when others get swept up. Stay focused when others chase distractions. Let your goals drive your response. Let your future dictate your present choices. Move with intention, not emotion. Because the one who reacts with control, with clarity, with calm force, that's the one who can't be stopped. That's the one who commands respect without ever asking for it. That's the one who lives above the noise and wins in the silence. Discipline over emotion is the mark of every true achiever. Emotion will tell you to quit when it gets hard, to lash out when you're challenged, to retreat when fear creeps in. But discipline tells you to keep showing up. Discipline is what carries you when motivation is gone, when the excitement dies, when nobody's watching. It's easy to act strong when you feel good. But real strength is doing what needs to be done even when every part of you wants to stop. Emotion is temporary. Discipline is eternal. The winners in life are not the ones who feel the best. They're the ones who stick to the plan no matter how they feel. Your emotions are loud, impulsive, inconsistent. One day they fire you up. The next day they pull you into doubt. If you allow them to lead, they will destroy your consistency. They will push you to chase comfort. They will convince you to break your own word. But discipline never lies. Discipline never fluctuates. Discipline is the voice that says, get up, go again, one more rep, stay late, keep building even when no one claps, even when no one believes, even when it's just you and the grind. You cannot be great if your life is led by emotion. You must become the kind of person who moves by principle, not by mood. Most people live at the mercy of how they feel. They only work when they're inspired. They only push when they're hyped. And they crash the moment adversity shows up. But discipline doesn't wait for inspiration. Discipline doesn't ask for permission. It operates regardless of mood. It trains when tired. It shows up when hurting. It keeps its word when no one is looking. It's the most powerful weapon you will ever own, and the greatest part is, it's built, not born. No one is born disciplined. You build it through repetition. You build it through self-respect. You build it every time you say no to your feelings and yes to your standard. You must decide that your emotions don't make the rules. You must train yourself to feel everything but act on discipline. The world does not reward those who act emotionally. It rewards those who do what's required. Feelings are fleeting, but results are permanent. You don't rise by doing what feels good. You rise by doing what's necessary. The dream is only available to those who can silence the emotion long enough to get the job done. That's the truth nobody wants to hear. The grind will not always feel good, but the goal doesn't care how you feel. It only responds to action. You don't reach your next level by getting emotional every time something doesn't go your way. You reach it by being grounded, locked in, and relentless. You reach it by having the self-discipline to show up no matter what your inner voice is screaming. Emotion will try to make you doubt. Discipline will shut that down and get to work. Emotion wants comfort. Discipline demands growth. Emotion is about right now. Discipline is about legacy. If you're serious about winning, you better stop listening to how you feel and start acting on what you decided. Nobody gets anywhere meaningful by being controlled by their emotions. They get there by having a clear vision, a rock-solid plan, and the self-command to execute it daily. Discipline is a decision you make every morning. You wake up, and before your emotions have a chance to speak, you decide what needs to be done. You don't wait for the mood to be right. You create your own momentum. That's the separator. That's what elevates average to unstoppable. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's discipline practiced until it becomes second nature. Even in the darkest seasons, discipline keeps you moving. Even when everything falls apart, discipline gives you something to hold on to. Emotion will make you panic. Discipline keeps you grounded. Emotion tells you to give up. Discipline tells you to find a way. Emotion wants to react. Discipline knows when to respond and when to ignore. The more you train yourself to obey discipline instead of emotion, the more dangerous you become to anything that tries to stop you. The battle is always between what you feel and what you know must be done. That tension lives inside everyone, but only a few win it consistently. They win it because they made a vow that emotion will never be their leader. They understand that discipline is not glamorous. It doesn't always feel good, but it always pays off. It always multiplies. It always builds something solid. The ones who learn this early build lives that others only dream of. Because while the emotional ones were chasing comfort, they were stacking wins. You will not feel like it every day. You will not always be motivated. That's a fact. But you don't need to be. You just need to do it anyway. You just need to hold the line. You just need to remember that the dream doesn't belong to the emotional. It belongs to the disciplined. Every breakthrough is built on days when nothing felt right, but you showed up anyway. Every level you want requires a higher version of you, and that version won't be led by emotion. It will be led by discipline, focus, and the willingness to do what most won't. Discipline over emotion is the only way to survive the pressure, outlast the setbacks, and reach the levels others never touch. It's not exciting, it's not flashy, but it's real. And it's the only thing that works when everything else falls apart. You want strength, control, and power? Then train your discipline until nothing can pull you off course, until emotions can scream and you won't move, until the noise gets loud and you stay locked in, until failure knocks and you still show up. That's when you know you've crossed over from being driven by emotion to being ruled by purpose. That's where champions live, and that's exactly where you belong. Detachment is mastery. When nothing owns you, no praise, no insult, no outcome, no opinion, you are free. And when you are free, you become dangerous. Most people are prisoners to their desires, slaves to their emotions, and hostages to how others perceive them. But the one who masters detachment can walk away from anything that threatens their peace, their mission, or their mind. That's real power. That's not weakness. That's control. And the one who has control wins. To detach doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. It means you stop depending on the world to validate your worth. You stop waiting for someone to recognize you before you move. You stop needing outcomes to go your way before you act. Detachment is not the absence of ambition. It's the height of clarity. You can